So really friendly fish. They come to the top, they eat out your hand. Hello guys, welcome to AlasdairaQuatics. Hope you're doing well. So I thought it was well overdue, just a little tour of my fish tanks and my fish room, and if there's time I will also feed the fish. So I hope you guys find this interesting and catch up with you in a bit. Okay, so let's start off by taking a look in my room. My little bookshelf forest is doing pretty good. Pothos is starting to trail down, pretty cool. And over on my window ledge, where I keep all my bonsai trees, these guys are again also doing pretty wicked. So you can see the bonsai trees I repotted in a recent video. Those two are doing good. I've actually had to trim them. They're really starting to grow a lot faster than normal. And this bonsai tree I placed inside the Dua terrarium is looking pretty wicked as well. And this little bonsai tree, this was from the small tool Dua terrarium that I set up. The moss ended up dying and I just got a bit fed up with it really. So took the bonsai tree out. But yeah, those guys are all doing good. My new little nano desktop planted tank is looking pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. The little Eheim filter is doing a good job. It seems to be having a good amount of flow in that tank, and I've got a little Tropica sort of CO2 system there in the corner. I'm going to have to keep an eye on how much light this is getting because I don't want it to get overrun with algae. And my little ficus ginseng bonsai is doing good as well. I recently got a few new plants, just house plants. I thought I'd quickly show you guys them. I got a Monstera deliciosa, something like that. I think that's how you pronounce it. Basically a Swiss cheese plant. You can see it's just started to get its first sort of Swiss cheese bit. So hopefully it'll sort of grow and look pretty cool. And then I've got another Monstra. I don't know what type this is, I've forgotten. But it's more of like a vine type, and I just thought I'd set it up inside this Dua terrarium. Just a simple little setup just to hold some humidity in for it, and it actually looks pretty cool. And then just a spider plant, which they're cool, they're great, everyone loves them. Right, let's go have a look in the fish room. Okay, so here's my Fluval Evo sort of custom setup and my two clownfish. We have a black Darwin clownfish and an orange clownfish up there. These are both Ocellaris clownfish, and originally I thought they were pairing up, but I'm not too sure at the moment. As you can see, there is a bit of trouble in paradise for these two. So in an upcoming video, I'm gonna be splitting these guys up. I love them both. They got such great personalities. You know, the black Darwin clownfish, although she is pretty aggressive, she's always at the front, quite a fun personality. And then we've got the much more shy male orange clownfish, and I don't know where he is right now. Yeah, that bit of aggression you saw there, I mean, that's, maybe some people would say that's normal for a clownfish pair. It's the fact that these guys, for the last sort of 3-4 months, they're not acting like a clownfish pair. They actually don't stay anywhere near each other. The male always hides up in this corner, and the female flies about the whole tank and beats him up, really beats him up, to the point where, you know, he has ripped fins. Sometimes she'll grab a hold of the male's gills and just drag him around the tank, and it's horrible to watch, to tell you the truth. Really not what you want from a fish tank. You know, an aquarium is meant to be quite a peaceful thing, and sadly this one's not doing it for me. It really doesn't seem to be working, the two of them together. So the male, you can't actually see him. He somehow finds his way inside the live rock. Yeah, there he is. So he really hides for his dear life from the female. I mean, yeah, it's been going on for months, and like I said, at times he really does get beaten up, and it's just not fun to watch. And over here, we got a jungle, an absolute jungle. This is Hygrophila siamensis 53B. I think I've pronounced that right. And my gosh, it's literally grown out the tank, formed a bit of a forest. And these aren't like that flimsy, like, well, they are flimsy, but the, you know, some of the stalks on them are getting surprisingly beastly. Yeah, I've just sort of let this tank do its thing, really, just doing the water changes, scooping out some duckweed when I can, adding a bit of CO2, a bit of fertilizer in, and yeah, it's doing good. We've still got my fighting fish. Here he is. Try and focus in there. Yep, and he's doing great. He's a lovely fish. If you want, hopefully later on in the video, I'll just give him a bit of food and he'll sort of come over for some food. But he's in here with some Amano shrimp and some cherry shrimp, which all seems to be hiding at the moment. But I'm sure if you've seen my previous videos on this tank, they are in there. They're just hiding right now, annoyingly. I'll get some footage of them in here and put it in sort of after I've finished filming. But yeah, this sort of immersed growth I think is really cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you like the look of that? I think it looks pretty funky. I do have plans for this though in the next sort of few months maybe. You know, I'm going to be changing it up because this setup's now probably about 8 months old. So, you know, maybe in the next sort of 4 months I'll be rescaping this. But it's a lovely, lovely looking tank and everything is really healthy. Okay, and over here we have my axolotl tank. Okay, so excuse the mess in there. It's got a touch of algae. It's overdue a water change. I only turn the light on when I'm filming now. I do generally keep the light off in there. It's just because otherwise I'd be showing you just a dark tank and you wouldn't really be able to see him. But here he is. He is a friendly little fellow and he is probably going to come to the front. Now he's seen me here, probably wants some food. But yeah, he spends a lot of time sort of hiding in the undergrowth under the plants. And he seems a pretty happy, healthy axolotl. Okay, so I'll quickly show you guys the big tank downstairs with the angelfish, and then we'll get through to feeding everything. Okay, so over in my kitchen, this is where we have the dual Rio 180 litre. If you guys haven't checked out the setup video for this tank, be sure to go and do that. But yeah, it's got a variety of cichlids in it. So obviously we've got the angelfish, which are doing great, not being aggressive towards each other. I got 5 and, you know, I'm fully aware I might need to thin down that number as they mature, if they start breeding and getting territorial or anything like that. But I'm definitely keeping a good eye on it. We've got some Bolivian rams. I think there's, well, I know there's 2 in there. Oh, here's the other one. And we've also got 2 keyhole cichlids, which are just small, peaceful cichlids, really, and are actually meant to go pretty well with angelfish. Hiding at the moment. We've got a couple of bristlenose plex in there as well, and I don't know if you can see just here, we've got a little clown plex too. So a really fun tank. The fish are pretty charismatic, lots of character to them. The plants are doing great. Yeah, nothing's gone wrong with this tank really. I think it's still settling in. It might be a few weeks until it's sort of fully matured, but time will tell, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. Oh, there's one of the keyhole cichlids. Oh, he's just darted away. So those guys are a bit more timid, so I set this tank up purposely so that there was a huge half of the tank that was open, so all the bold fish could be out, and pretty much half the tank sort of a jungle vibe, so the other half can hide when they want to. Right, time to give these guys some food. I have a few different tropical fish flakes. I've got another tropical brand over here, Tetra Pro Color Multi Crisp. So I just sort of switch between them. I've also got frozen bloodworm in my freezer, you know, so they get that as an occasional treat, but let's give them some flake. Out of all my fish, probably the clownfish and these guys get fed the most, just because I know these guys are all still young, still growing. And the clownfish is the same kind of deal really. They're not adult fish yet. They're still growing. So really friendly fish. They come to the top, they eat out of your hand. Put a bit more in for them. Cool. Yeah, and if I sort of sit back for a bit, you start to find that the keyhole cichlids will come out and start eating, as will the 3 plecos. There's one of the little keyhole cichlids at the back there, just getting some food. There are 2 of them. Like I said, they're probably the most timid fish in there, along with the ancestris, which mainly come out at night. Okay, for the clownfish, it's the dreaded feeding time, where they don't really bite me, but they do fight each other. And, you know, again, it's another reason why I want to probably separate these guys, just so that the male actually survives really long term. Here we go. Well, so every now and then they'll behave relatively well. Black clownfish is actually leaving the male alone. Obviously, I know that the females in general can be a bit feisty and do sort of put the males in their place from time to time, but I don't have it on video. But yeah, it's sort of gone a bit further than that. And as you can see, a second he's eating, he's gone back to his little sort of outlet that's hosting him at the moment, almost like an anemone. But she will go over there, grab him by the gills, whack him all over the place, rip his fins, and not a nice thing to watch. Okay, so in terms of feeding this guy, I usually, as a staple diet, feed him this Amphibigold. I think it's by the brand Arcadia, and I think this is really good for them, as it has lots of different ingredients, rather than say just feeding frozen bloodworm. Although I do that as a treat, and the same with earthworms. You know, this is I think a much more well-rounded, balanced diet. It has you know, calcium, krill, daphnia, brine shrimp, earthworm, bloodworm, all of that, all in there in a pellet, and this guy loves them, as you can see. He is such a funny guy, a lot of character to him, and let's see if he gets any of these pellets. Whoa. Yeah, he caught one. So yeah, sorry about a bit of debris on the sand bed there, guys. He is overdue a water change, and I need to put out a bit of that string algae. But yeah, he is healthy and happy as far as I'm aware. Tank water is all good. There's no problems with ammonia or nitrite or anything like that. Oh, he missed that bit of food. And he just sort of slowly plods around and eats his food. That's pretty much what he'll now be doing. Let's see if we get him on camera taking a bite out of one of those. He just sort of smells along the sand bed. Oh, there we go. Decided to take a bite. So you want to keep these guys on a fine sand, like I've got them on here, or bare bottom, just because obviously you can see when they bite their food, they just sort of inhale and everything around it gets eaten as well. So he does probably spit most of the sand out. But yeah, just a good idea to stop them getting impacted or any problems like that. Okay, time to feed my fighting fish. I normally just give him sort of tropical flakes. I've got a few different types. Sometimes he'll come and eat it out of my hand. Oh, maybe not today. Sorry about the glare, guys. This tank is really bright, and because it's a shallow tank, sometimes it can be quite hard to get sort of right angle. But yeah, I give them quite a bit of flake because the shrimp will come out and start having some food as well. Yeah, just chuck a bit in over here. Okay guys, so come to the end of that video. I had a lot of fun to show you guys around. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting to see how things are progressing and you know what I've got, and I hope you enjoyed seeing me sort of feeding some of my fish. I like to be real with you and be honest. You know, obviously not all of my tanks are looking 100% perfect all the time. You know, they are, a couple of them are due water changes, like my Axolotl tank and my Clownfish tank, so you will notice a bit of maybe debris or algae, and you know, that's to be expected. You know, when you got 5 tanks, you know, it's a lot of work, and I enjoy doing it. But you know, with any fish tank, they're not going to always look absolutely spot on. You know, a lot of the time when you see tanks on YouTube, they're sort of filmed just after a water change, and you know, even I do that myself. You know, if I'm doing a video just on a tank, I'll do a water change beforehand and make sure the tank's looking absolutely perfect. This was just a quick sort of pick up of the camera and sort of to show you guys around. So I hope you enjoyed it, had a lot of fun. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment, let me know what you guys think, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, because I think it's something like 3% of you guys are subscribed, and I wish it was more. Okay guys, so until next time, take it easy, bye for now.